wherever we have the most challenges in our life is where we have the most to give. 2, 1, action! Hello, our fellow aliens. Welcome back to Belonging Abroad, a series of conversations about creating our lives on the foreign land. And we're your hosts, Joe
and Winnie.
Yay! So Winnie, how's your new year been?
Well, I'd say so far 2023 has been pretty good. Yeah, how about you? Tell me some of your New Year's goals.
I don't actually set New Year goals. Yeah, because I feel I reset my goals when I moved to a new country, and I reset my goals again when COVID hit. So for me, it's not really aligned to calendar New Year. I set my goals whenever my life needs me to.
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of different when we move abroad. And if I look back to my previous goals, to be honest, none of them stuck, unfortunately. So yeah, I think something was definitely missing.
Yeah, same. I mean, sometimes we have so many important, both like urgent stuff going on, and for me, I will get so overwhelmed by it, so I just end up achieving nothing. Yeah, well, it would be great if we have a tool that can really help us to organize things and to really know where we should focus on without, getting distracted by all the stuff.
I'm so glad that you brought it up, actually, because learning from my mistake last year, I actually done some researching. And by researching, I mean Googling. And I learned about this concept in psychology that is called the Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Oh,
have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I learned it. It's like, it was the first lesson of my junior high school, how to be a good citizen. Lesson 1.
Okay, so that's great. But for our listener who are not very familiar with this concept, maybe we can give them some definitions along the way, right? So now let's start. Imagine together a triangle.
Triangle.
Yes, and in this triangle, there's 5 levels arranging from the bottom to the top. So the idea of this is that once you're fulfilling different levels of needs, you would be able to become the best version of yourself by fulfilling your potential. So now let's look at the bottom when we have physiological needs. So they are anything that has to do with our survival. I would say that would be clothes, that would be a shelter, that is food, that's also water, that's anything that has to do with the wellness of our body. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So for me, I guess it will be when I move abroad, I have to find a place to live, and I have to buy suitable clothes for the weather, and I have to know where to find rice and how to cook rice.
Just rice?
Yes, I only eat rice.
All right, I respect that.
Yeah, thank you. So what's next?
So after our physiological needs, the next level is called safety and security, which I think very self-explanatory, right? So anything that gives you a sense of emotional or physical safety. To me, that would be a yes to some of these questions. So do you have a place to go back to sleep every night? Do you feel safe walking around your neighborhood? Do you feel like you know how to get to where you need to go? Or do you have the financial support to do what you want to do?
I think I have most of these, but one thing though, sometimes as a woman, is I don't feel that safe walking around the city, especially at night alone. So what I learned is try not to have your headphones on so you can be aware of your surroundings. Maybe some people stalking you, and you can be really quick to react and protect yourself.
Oh yeah. Well, now that you mentioned that, I feel like even though we are on the topic of being abroad, but at the same time, I feel like as women in general, sometimes we just don't feel very safe being in certain areas, right? And it's kind of sad that we don't even have this kind of so-called foundation of our needs in a way. Now let's go back to our hierarchy and look at the next level. So after the 2 lower level, which are both for our physical needs, we are moving up to our psychological needs. So the first level is called the social needs. As human beings, I think we are all very social creatures in a way. No matter if we are introvert, extrovert, or ambivert, we all need some kind of connection to the people around us in order to feel loved, to feel cared for, to feel heard, to feel just connected, right? What do you think?
I think that's probably one of the most important things in my life. I remember when I moved to Thailand alone, it was back then, I had this weird mindset that I shouldn't be too close to Thailand. I shouldn't make friends. I shouldn't form like a community in Thailand because I was afraid that I will distance myself from my long distance boyfriend at the time. So, but it was a mistake. I ended up being so depressed. So lesson learned here is if I would do it again, I'll definitely form a community where I can rely on and make new friends I can feel connected to. Yeah.
Wow. It sounds really hard, like being so isolated in a new country like that. But yeah, I think if we look on the bright side, it would be like the universe was trying to prepare you for this next journey of yours, right? Okay, now let's go back to our social needs. And after social needs, we have esteem, which is all about our identity. So what makes us feel, valuable, what makes us feel confident about, basically like what our values are in life. And above of that is self-actualization. And I think for me, I look at it as after we have a good reflection of who we are, we'll be able to identify which aspects that we care about and how do we contribute to that by improving ourselves and putting our work or our effort into that part. And that's becoming the best version of us.
Yeah, I do agree with these Maslow's like levels of needs, but for me, I will tend to look at it as different boxes with labels. So I will know where exactly am I putting my energy in. Sometimes I don't need to fill all the boxes because it caters to what I need. But for me, it's really helping me with like not diluting my energy and really focus on what I need to do.
Interesting. Boxes.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's talk about this imaginary box in front of us called Gio's identity. What's in there?
For identity, I would feel, for me, it's my hobbies, snowboarding, and doing a job I like, and being Winnie's reliable friend.
That's really sweet of you. I feel like you are my whole community in a way. Yeah, and I feel like what we're doing here as well, right? Us, like the two of us, to a broader sharing our own experience because we care about this. We care about how we can improve together in a way. So I think this is also a part of my identity, what I want to become more involved in. Yeah.
So, but how about you? How do you apply these boxes theory to your current situation?
Oh, okay, yeah, good question. So I guess I always identify as someone who's very demanding of myself. I want to achieve a lot of things in my life. Last year was a good example. I got very stuck because I feel like I was in the middle of compiling all my paperwork together for my visas, so I couldn't really concentrate on getting into a hobbies or like getting into this habit that I really want to at the beginning of the year. And I felt really sad about it. Some of it actually became a good source of like urgency to find out where I was in life. But most of it, however, became this huge resentment towards myself that I was not being enough. And I think it was not helpful at all in terms of how I should progress. So yes, this year when I have these tools here, when I have these boxes here, I can actually identify that, okay, I have this amount of energy that I have to put on this focus before I can go to other boxes to fulfill them. So yeah, so now I have this explanation to myself and also to my emotions that I'm doing certain things right here. So please focus here if you want to see the progress. Yeah, so that's how I see it.
Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't really compare our boxes to other people's boxes. And especially we move abroad, we definitely on a different timeline than our friends back home. Like for me, many of my friends are getting married, having kids, or become promoted as CEO or something. So for me, these boxes really help me to in a way like really focus on what I'm doing without comparing myself to people. But also what could help is just reduce using social media. It's not your business, just focusing on yourself, staying your own friend.
Yeah. Wow, I really love that part when you say like stay in your own frame. It sounds really powerful. Feels like you cannot be rushed to anywhere else in your life, right? And yeah, I feel like that's a way for us to feel like very powerful creators taking back our charge.
Yeah, I mean, this is something we can actually build. This is a skill, become like being powerful or being in charge. Like once we have these boxes sorted out, it's like this foundation we can bring with us everywhere. Imagine you have these boxes and you can just hop on any flights, go wherever you want, build a new life wherever you want, because you have this foundation to keep you grounded and know you're gonna do great in building your new life.
Yeah, like in a way that's our luggages, but these luggages can never be lost.
Yeah, no matter what airline it is.
Exactly. Yeah, I think the whole idea about like going abroad, moving to different countries is like full of wonder and excitements, right? For me, when I did that a couple of years ago, I got super fascinated whenever I moved to a new place, in a way that I just forgot to take care of my foundation, which is this body right here. Yeah. So I think I was treating my body just like a vessel to have so many different other exciting experience in the external world that's giving me, and my body didn't enjoy that at all. Yeah. So I was living with a very inflammatory, angry, kind of not really well functioning body, and it actually hindered a lot of the things that I wanted to do, to be honest. So now that I have these boxes, I actually put a very big reminder in my physiological box that I have to maintain this body, to nurture it, to take care of it, because this is a foundation that I have to take everywhere with me as well.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a good lesson learned.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, I just love how we both learn so many things along the way. And, well, it could be a goal that leads us, or it could be some just life lessons that really challenge us and make us to rethink of our life beliefs. Well, just like my spiritual guru, Tracy McMillan, she once said, wherever we have the most challenges in our life is where we have the most to give. And that's why we have this YouTube channel. We really hope you enjoy listening to us as much as we enjoy making it. We are here to share our experience and lessons. So leave a comment below to let us know if this type of content resonates with you, and if any topics you want us to talk about in the future.
Yeah, and if you are curious about the wonder of living abroad, please follow us so that you can get notified whenever we have a new episode. And thank you so much for making it till the end.
Thank you.